And today I want to show you my IDE and which hotkeys I use, which nice ways I use to go around in PhpStorm. And yeah, let's get started because I think it's gonna be quite interesting and hopefully you can learn one or two things. And yeah, let's get started. When I start my IDE, that's everything I got. It's empty. So how do I do anything? I can't click, I can't do anything. That's on purpose because I want to use the mouse not that often, let's say it like that, and we use more the hotkeys. And as you can see, we have, for the starting point, we have here a few hints, so we can search everywhere. I think that's one of the few hotkeys that I did not change. It's double shift. And if you know, with double shift, we can now run the search everywhere command. But most times I'm actually not using this command because I find it's really confusing because it searches actually everything. Because here I have like, yeah, when I go like a config folder down here or some weird stuff here that I never use, some constants or stuff like that. And I'm actually never using this. I actually prefer when I want to go somewhere, I'm gonna use the files here. And how you can easily use this is to use the go-to file. I mapped it on Command P. So when I go for something like Vault Service Provider, I can just write here and I get only the files that I need. So I think that's really basic. Everyone knows that. But the cool part is we can use something like fuzzy search. So when we write ASP, we see, we are already in the app service provider. We don't have to type everything. Or we can say, hey, please go on line 24. We can just use a colon and say, hey, 24. And voila, we are already in the app service provider, and it's really cool. And when you are now in the file, there's some easy ways how you can navigate through the file. So like with the function key, when you press on the right, you always jump to the outermost right side of the line. When you go left, you will jump on the left. And the cool part is we can even use the Alt key, because I see sometimes people are navigating like letter for letter and letter and letter. But when you go with like the Alt key, you can jump between the words. And I think it's much more handy to use it. That's like I think a feature every IDE incorporates, and that you should use more often if you want to jump somewhere. Okay, but PhpStorm offers more. We can open the context menu with Alt-Enter. And you see when we are here in the namespace, we can say, hey, please replace this namespace. And when we do that, it will replace them. And when we go on the top, you will see, the model namespace is imported here. That's really cool. When we reset it, we can even say, hey, please clean up the whole code. So the whole file, we can use this one here. And when we go on top, we have now the model and the mail namespace already imported. But I think it goes better. I don't want to always go here somewhere and click here in the inside. What if the cursor is here on the top on the comment, and now I press Alt-Enter? I don't have the context menu, nothing is shown. But the cool part is there's something called silent code cleanup. So let me show you. When I open not Command P, but with Command Shift P, I can open like the Actions panel. That's here. I'm directly here. So I can go for something that's called silent code cleanup. And as you can see, I already mapped it to K and U. And when I press K and U, you will see the whole file is already imported. And I don't have to go manually to one step. I can just do it wherever I am. And that's something I use like, I think, all the time. Okay, let me show you one more thing. So I have prepared an error. So an artisan command that's showing me the error. So now, I can't read everything. So what do I do? Do I use my mouse and make it bigger? No, don't do that. So we can open the Actions context menu again with Command Shift P I have on it, and we can say something like maximize tool window. That's because something, even when the hotkey is shown there, I'm actually never using this hotkey. When I need it, I just use it, go there, and when I go it will maximize the terminal now, and now I can read, okay. Oh no, something happened here on console on line 30. Yeah, in this example now I can just easily click here and I'm already jumping here. But there are sometimes I'm like in the log, error log, and that says, hey, on this file, on this line, I have an error. So I can just open here, console, jump here, and I forgot now the colon part. What do? I have a hotkey for this as well. Command G, just jump right to the line we need. So I type 30. I'm right into line 30. And that's how I never navigate through when I have errors, stuff like that. And I think that's really handy. And yeah, it works a lot. And one thing I love to use is like the key prefix. So I always press Command K. So with K, so when I press Command K W, it will close like all my windows. Or I press Command K and E, it will open my file explorer. Or I press Command K and D, it will open my database. Or I press Command K and G, it will open like the commit message. So I prefix some of my commands because like all the good hotkeys, they are already taken. So I can't just press Command G because it's go to line. So I have to prefix it. So for the git command, so I'm gonna prefix it with a K so I can remember it. Because PhpStorm, I think for commit is like Command 0 or something like that, or open the file explorer is Command 1. It's like very, let's say, arbitrary commands that the PHP offers from the start. And I actually like to use more explanatory, something that I can remember with, like for G, for Git, so that I can commit stuff, or for D, I know, that's the database explorer, I can open it. And the cool part is, with PhpStorm, when I'm now here, I want to go maybe on the bottom there to the user. I can click down, 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 down. But the nice part is we can even use the search here as well. So I can go user, I'm here, and then go inside, then opens my table and everything is here. I have it right, I can use it, and that's really cool and handy. And this even works with every screen we have. So when we're here in the project folder, we can use, maybe we want to go to the logs folder, we can say, hey, please go to the storage folder, and we have here the logs folder, and then we are here inside in the logs, and that's really handy, so we can navigate pretty fast just with typing. Okay. Like one of the few commands that I didn't prefix is the terminal. So I'm just using Command T to open, close, because I think I use it like all the time. I prefer to use it in built-in terminal. And the cool part is about PhpStorm, you can open just new tabs as you want. I think everyone knows, just with a new tab. So I have it as Command Shift T. So Command T opening tab, Command Shift T. So it's just one keybind more. So for a new tab. Or I even try something like Control N to split the screen to the right, because most of the times I just need two terminals. Like on the one side, I'm using npm run dev. And on the other side, I can still type my commands, stuff like that. And if I need more, I can just open a new tab or do something else. But that's like the basic setup I have for me. But one thing now, my mouse is now stuck. I can't get my... I actually would like to go to the left terminal. So when I press like Control H to split to the previous splitter, it does not work. I'm somehow stuck here. I don't know how to fix that. That's like the only time I have to actually press one time with my mouse here. Or I can just open and close the terminal, and so my cursor is again back there. So maybe if someone knows that, can hit me up and tell me how I can actually escape this npm run dev here. This would be really nice. Okay, but let's close it as well. So we just closed it, all the tabs are closed. Yeah, let's go to the next thing, because I think there's a lot of magic here going on. What I actually like about PhpStorm is like the multi-cursor. So the easiest way to do multi-cursor is just command clicking. So when I command click, as you can see, we can do some multi-cursor is awesome. So we have now 3 cursors, that I think that's really easy. One more way is, I think, the Alt option. So we can Alt option down and maybe prefix this with Livewire or something like that. I'm not using that a lot, but it's just handy. Or sometimes you need to copy something or do something. When you just hold the Alt keyboard, you can even do multi-cursors as well, as you see here in the tab space way. Not sure when to use it, but sometimes it's handy. I don't have a good example for it, but it's nice to know. But the real magic comes, let me show you here. So what happens if we just want to select all the carets here from line 1 to 5, but just the beginning? So we can use the multi-cursor magic here and use add selection. But when we do that, and I have it Command D, we will select even the ending ones. So, but I don't want this here on the end of the span. I just want of the beginning. So how can we do that? So let's go back and let's restart. So one nice part is when I have now selected the next one, the next occurrence, I have a hotkey for Command Shift D that's gonna find me the next one. So when I go Command Shift D, it skips the current one. So I can press Command D again, Command Shift D, it's skipping, Command D, Command Shift D, and it's skipping. And now I'm again back to 5 and go something like this, and it works. And the cool part is I can do something like, yeah, I just want, let's say, the spans should all be ignored. I can ignore them and just go with them, this 3, and that's easily handled like this. So I can use, hey, where do I need to go? And just select the lines that I actually need. Okay, but what happens if you want to change, let's say, all the divs, all the spans here, maybe to a div or something? This is also possible. We don't have to go Command D, 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 and press 4 times. There's also one to select every occurrence. So I mapped it to Command K, Shift D, maybe a bit complicated. Yeah, I'm not using that often, but it works. It's really nice. So I can change it here to div or to P or whatever, and that's really easy. So I can work with it. But I showed you now a lot of things, but let's go to a real problem that we have. So let me open here. No, not a function, maybe items, and we have an array here. And let me open Excel, something we all love opening. Yes! The fire here, it's coming. As long the Excel is opening, I want to show you all the hotkeys I have from this course, from Caleb, the Make VS Code Awesome. It's really cool, and here he explains why he loves like prefixing everything with Command K, and I copied it just for PhpStorm because I love doing it. I have the same here for Command K and E for the file explorer, G for Git, D I'm not using for debugger for the database, but I think you can customize however you want, what you like, what you prefer. But okay, thank you. Let's say someone's coming and gives us this list here, and we need to make an array or something out of it. So sometimes it's hard to do that. So let me show you one way how can we do that. Actually, I want something that's like this. So it's code, there's a, and then we have something like type, and we want actually something like this. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let me copy this one, this first, the code one, and then afterwards the type. And let's see how we can get it working. So now, please don't shame me. I'm gonna use the mouse currently, yeah. So I'm gonna select everything here. So, ooh, I know. But I have actually no clue how can I select a lot of text very fast with PhpStorm, so I'm using the mouse here. But now I have a hotkey for when I have all the lines selected, I can press Command and on the right. And you will see now it lets cursors, everything on the right. And the cool part is when I now use the Shift and Function key and press to the left, I'm gonna select everything until the start of the line. So let me go here. Everything is selected. And now the cool part is we can now work with it because now everything is selected, what we need. And when I press the quote button, it adds a quote, and now we can start to build the array out of it. So when I just go 2 times on the left, I can start with a bracket, square bracket, use the type code here. And when I go now function right, I will jump now to the right side. And here I can go with a comma and now type everything I need, close it. And let's go back here to the content. And I can open the Excel again, copy everything here, jump back. Hope this will work. So paste to it. Ooh, nearly. It added a new line everywhere. So don't panic. We can press the backspace button. And yeah, we got it working. And that's like a real use case I'm actually need to use quite often. So that's something I use. Most times I make a collection out of it, but that's something else. Yeah, and I actually enjoy working with the multi-cursors in PhpStorm a lot, but that's not something that's unique to PhpStorm. It's like I think every IDE got multi-cursor, stuff like that, and this is, I would say, more than basic stuff, like every IDE supports, like Sublime Text, VS Code, and all the other ones. So let me show you a few more features I like. One of them is, well, the recent files is something that everyone ships as well, but I actually like this because when I open the recent file tab, I can also use here, like, hey, let me go to the welcome file, or maybe I want to go somewhere else to the layout file. And that's really cool. I can just type there as well. It works. But sometimes I forgot the file name. So I opened a lot of files. I'm navigating around. I'm hunting. And then there's a nice one. I have a Control-Shift-Tab. And that's called, no, what's called? Recent locations. Yeah, you can see there, recent locations on the top. And the nice part is now we can just jump right through it and see, where do we want to go? Yeah, here, maybe on the console. We are here, right? We want to go to the console. And I think that's really nice because I see always a few lines of code and I can directly jump to it where I need to go. And I don't, when I forgot the name of the file or something like that. And that's really handy. But what happens when I go, let's say I'm here in the quote command, I'm here, and I jump here, and I have to debug stuff. I'm going here. Okay, what's this explode doing? I have actually no clue. Let's go there, and we look inside the code. We're navigating through it, and then, oh, where have been? Where was the last location where I've been? I think that's something that happens all the time. And I love it because there's a last edit location. I mapped it on Command-Shift-Backspace. And it will jump me back where I did my last edit. And I think that's really useful because most of the times oh, fuck, I forgot. I'm like 10, 15 files deep. I'm somewhere looking around, hunting the code base. And I think that's a really useful hotkey. Yes. Okay, and one more way to navigate, I enjoy it as well, is just Command Up. When you press Command Up, you will see, whoa, that's really nice because now I'm actually pretty fast here because I can say, hey, I want to go maybe to the action message here. Now I can move the cursor up, but I think, I can just type action messages, voila, I'm already there. Or up, I can go maybe, I want to see what's happening in the CSS, and voila, and stuff like that. It's really nice to move around. I think it's even better than with the file explorer most of the times, and I'm using it quite a lot. So maybe you check it out as well. It's really cool. Okay, these are all cool techniques currently, but now I want to show you the real shit PHP offers. So let's go with it. I have here something, just a easy class with an invoke function, and we have a spelling error here. It's with a W and we want to change it. And I'm now looking around, hey, where's this class provided? So maybe I can search the whole code base, and now we will see, it's not in that many locations. But sometimes it's very complicated to find it. So PhpStorm offers something that's called find usages, and the find command I have on kf for find. And I will see, okay, this class is used here in the create posts and one time in the routes file. Okay, that's cool. I could now manually go there, change them, do that. But the nice part is PhpStorm offers a very handy way to refactor everything. So when I open my refactor context, that's with Command-Shift-A, I can rename now it, go here, change it from W to V, do it. And now when I look for the usages, everything is changed and it just works. It's really great. The cool part is it just not only works for renaming, it also works for moving the files. So when too much. So let's move this file. So I'm gonna open refactor again and this time move the class. And maybe I want to move it, don't know, something like to the tag folder. As you can see, not only the class name will be moved, even the destination for the directory as well. So I refactor it And now I have Command-Shift-E to directly jump to the file in the Explorer. As you can see, we have now the tag folder. As you can see, the namespace is also changed. When we look for all the usages and go up here, you will see, it's already changed to app tag instead app livewire actions. And now we're working with it and we see, this was a useless refactor after a while. And we say, hey, let's just move it back again. And I'm moving it back here. And voila, as you can see, even the namespace is ported and everything. And for me, this is like very huge because I'm moving a lot of files in every project. I'm refactoring a lot. And it sounds very basic, but I never encountered any problems with this. So I'm using this feature a lot. And I actually tried to use VS Code for a long time, but every time I refactored something, like changing namespaces, stuff like that, it always broke my application because something was missing somewhere here and there. And I always had to open PhpStorm, refactor there, close PhpStorm, and use VS Code again. And yeah, after a half year, I think 8 months, I was no longer convinced to use VS Code. And then I switched back to PhpStorm. Let's say it like that. Yes. Okay. Let me show you one last thing. What I love about PhpStorm is about running tests. So I have a command that's called Command K and R for run. So when I run it, you will see the test is running very fast, 9 milliseconds. Let's go, man. And the cool part is now when I'm gonna navigate to some random files, I'm here doing something, I have no clue, maybe change this to off or on and go change things. And now I want to see if the test is still running. Now in this case, it's obvious it's still running. But I can rerun the test just with a hotkey. So I can rerun the previous test. So with a P, I have a command K and P. So I go KP and I can now rerun the previous test. And that's really handy as well, because sometimes you change the file, then just rerun one single test. You want to see if it's passed, and then afterwards you can run the whole test suite again. Yes. And I think that's everything I got for you for this presentation. This presentation is not about remembering all the hotkeys or stuff like that. Use the hotkeys that are useful for you, because I think you should work with your IDE, with your laptop. You should be confident to use it, because in my mind, I'm a digital craftsman and I'm proud of the tools that I'm using. And I want to know how to use the tools because, yeah, it makes me more confident with my work because I can use it. So, and it makes me even faster because I know, hey, this tool can do this X. And every day I learn something new with PhpStorm as well, because it's a huge tool and they got so many features. It's awesome to learn maybe one new hotkey like every day. Because when I started with it, I didn't start like this, like with an empty IDE shell. Well, I got still all the things to click, but over time I removed the stuff like the file explorer. Then I said, hey, disable it. I only want to open it when I want it. And so I started to learn one hotkey after the other and just go easy with it. You don't have to change your whole working flow from one day to another. But I think it's a really good way to improve your coding skills. So I hope you could learn one or two things. And yeah, thank you for your time.